Hey guys, it's Mason. So, there's a few things I want to talk about, and I'm gonna try and do this as best as I can. Say hi, Marshawn. Hey. I'm moving, and I guess this is goodbye for now. They have better opportunities there, and I'll have a better chance of really getting my name out there than I ever will here. I'm sorry, but it's true, and I don't know. Just I don't know. It's been a fun journey. And though this video you're probably like lost by now, like going like, what is he even talking about? Alright guys. Thank you. And as always, stay moist and dandy. Pieces.
Waterfall Films, STFU, a fat ass, Asian N-word. Barry isn't fat, nor fat, and who says Lambo is hiding, and who said, not fat. Fat, N-word, all caps, your way to be a speedster, and who the hell gets beat up by a N-word that looks like fat self is humping at them. I mean, look how Reverse Flash was rocking back and forth, and Waterfall Films, me and Lambo will come to your home and kick your monkey ass. Okay. And someone replied, y'all are I know I'm late to this, but like, for real, y'all need to grow up and stop picking on people just because mommy didn't let you suck on her titty today. Doesn't give you the right to make others sad. Like, damn. It's pretty cool. Hey everyone, Mason Waters here at Waterfall Films, and I don't know, I just felt like putting that at the beginning just as a funny little thing I found amusing. People on the internet, they're really weird and strange, but it's whatever. It's kind of cool, you know, if the other person like backs me up and was like, hey, don't pick on him, you know, people like that, they're really awesome. I just wanted to kind of have a little ramble today and go over a few things. So, in case some of you haven't heard, I am at the end of this month planning on moving out and back to Greeley, Colorado. I grew up in Greeley for like 15, almost 16 years. It's where I consider to be home. And I moved to Bloomington, Illinois a few years back, almost 3 years now, because my dad gotten a job in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and I wasn't sure, so I ended up moving with my mom here in Illinois, who was already here like a year prior to that, and so just to see how things would go, and there have definitely been ups and downs to this experience, but in all, I'd say a lot of good things have happened and a lot of bad things, but a lot of good, like I said, things I never imagined would come to be, you know, like it all is just crazy. How far things have come and like things that I never thought possible. And it is just a great experience. And there's so many people out there who've been supportive and amazing. And I just want to thank you all so much because it does mean everything. You have no idea. You may have seen I had put something at the beginning of the video. It was something I'd done like right before I had actually moved. It was I think exactly, let me see, like 3 years ago today. I made a video letting people know, hey, I'm going to be moving away. I'm moving to Illinois, this and that. And it was a really emotional thing for me, you know, because I'd grown up there, just, and it was a big change for me, you know. The first time, like, yeah, I'd moved houses and all that, but this is the first big time in my life that I'd move away from friends and family, people a place I was familiar with and comfortable with, to come here. And I'd visited before. It wasn't like I didn't have any knowledge of Illinois. It was just gonna be a big thing for me that I wouldn't know really anyone here, and it would just be, I don't know. I was really scared and paranoid, and at first it was kind of scary. You know, things were just when I thought things could get any worse, bad things would happen left and right, and it was something that it definitely took a lot of getting used to. And it was just one of those big crazy things. I'm like trying to process because right now I'm like all over the place trying to think of everything that I wanted to get out in this video. But yeah, so new school, new people I'd never met, you know, all of that. And at the time, I was actually going to a place called ALP because, you know, throughout high school and some middle school, for those of you who still don't know, I do have autism, just a whole bunch of mess there that I don't want to get into. But yeah, anyway, It's just been something I'd struggled with, especially going into high school, my freshman and sophomore year. I just did not do that well. There were days where I'd say, "Oh, I'm not feeling it. I'm sick." Would skip or wouldn't show up to school or just would make excuses because it just scared me. I'd get anxiety, just couldn't handle it. So definitely one of those things that even when I started at this school, I would always be like, "Oh, I'm not feeling well," or like do things like so to go as far as to even give myself nosebleeds so that I could go home because it just stressed me out so much. And one of the things I want to thank the people at ALP for, even though it was one of the best and worst experiences of my life, I'll be honest. But and I'm sure I was a pain in the too. But I do thank you guys because there were times where I'd go, I'm not feeling so good. I don't want to go home. They'd be like, Nah, you're fine. Just suck it up. Stay in school. You're getting through today. It was that kind of motivation and hard times that in the end I'm grateful for because if not for that, if they'd just been like a school like, oh, nurse, I'm not feeling well, I should go home. Okay, go home. Then I can almost guarantee I would not be where I am today. I've done things and accomplished wonders that I never could have imagined. For example, film being one of them. I recently, for my autism and mental health awareness short, had actually won an award for best short film, which I thought was really cool. Something that back when I first started this in like 2012 as an eighth grader, just kind of fun little, oh, I got a phone, let's film some stuff and whatever. Never could have imagined it would have been where it is today. Just telling emotional stories, not even just visual effects based, things that got people involved and they'd watch and go, oh wow, I care about who's on screen and all that. Just is amazing to me that it's gotten that far. And right now we're at 4.5K subs, and though that's still a fairly small number, I just think it's really incredible. And your guys' support really does mean everything. Um, I have the people who are haters and are gonna do what they do because it's the internet, whatever. But it's the ones that really show support and care that I'll even talk to on the side, being like, "Hey, you doing all right?" Like making sure that the people, my community, that they're doing well also because it does mean a lot to me. And what you guys say and your feedback really does matter. People are just like, "Oh, you should kill yourself. You suck." This and that. It's like I'm not gonna listen to you guys. You're not the people I do this for. I do this for me. And on the side, I do it for the people who have taken their time to be involved, to care, to give constructive feedback, and that those are the people I do this for also. So thank you all very much. But like I was saying earlier, things like the wonders I've accomplished, like the subscribers, all that's great. One thing that was a real struggle for me, like I had mentioned, was high school and me graduating. A lot sooner than I thought I would. That was a big deal for me. Something that I was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible!" And then even having people just like, I can't tell you because it's just the best feeling ever. As much of you will know, like getting through high school and whatnot, it's like, oh, just through high school, you got a whole life ahead of you. And I know that. It really does mean a lot. And something that, I didn't doubt it completely. Just the way it ended up being was so much better. Making friends, all that. And that, though there were rough times here, like I said, that are definitely good. And this isn't something this is just for me. Like this whole going back to Greeley thing, it's for me because I do want to find my own life, get out there. I'm sure you're thinking, well, why Greeley then? Well, to be fair, yeah, Greeley itself doesn't have, it's not the place so much, I should say, more as the people there and the experiences and growing up there that really meant a lot to me. And just going back, what I consider to be my home, uh, just somewhere where I can be on my own without mom and dad, but at the same time finding my own path and way. Well, being somewhere I'm at least familiar with. Like if I went to like Florida or something, Florida's great. Don't get me wrong. It's just I'd go there and be like, I don't know anyone here. I guess going into it at least 50-50, not being completely 100% lost, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's that, and just I don't know, just kind of ranting on now because I'm really not good at this whole like webcam, whatever, like talking to a camera like this thing. I do film and all that, and yet I really don't like my picture, all that. It's crazy. Like most people, just being your worst critic or, all that. Um, but I have made some pretty good, have some pretty good experiences and made some good friends here. It kind of sucks that towards the end it was a little more than when I started like really building those relationships and friendships. But it's been great, people like getting a job, having yeah, that's another thing, getting a job, getting my license, driving, having more responsibility and independence, just things that really are crazy to think about. That well, I didn't think impossible, just at a time in my life thinking when will this happen? This is never gonna happen. Being at really hard points in my life where I just thought, because for those of you who also don't know, I had suffered like from severe depression, anxiety for a long time, and even now, still kind of working through it. But just getting through those hard times. And people ask, or when people ask things like, "Oh, if you go back and change anything, would you? If you could go back in time, switch an event, if every day was happy." And to that, I've always thought like, "Well, yeah, that'd be great, or whatever." But then I think, but would I really want to? Because if not for hard times and certain experiences, I could be a completely different person. I've thought before, what if I never went to the hospital or had those hard times or had those bad thoughts, just all that kind of stuff. And it goes back to you know, what genetics and all that, what we're, just who we are naturally versus experience and building who we are as a person based on that. I tend to think like, would I be this person I am? Because I've had people, who really haven't known me that long, maybe so much as a month. And by the end of that month, they feel comfortable enough talking to me about things they wouldn't tell their best or closest friends. And it does mean a lot that people trust me enough to open up about that kind of stuff. And sometimes I'll give advice and it's weird, they really help them out that for some reason I don't take myself because it is difficult. As you can imagine, you give the best advice and yet doesn't work as well for you. Not to say that when it's just I'm stubborn. But anyway, yeah, so that's another thing. And just been through a lot, and yet through it all, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change any of it because there is a lot of good that came out of it. For as much bad and hard times as there were, in the end, I wouldn't be who I am now if not for those experiences, and I wouldn't have met certain people and had certain things happen. Like, there's someone I'm currently talking to. I won't get into names because a few people I've already told, but just in general, someone who is really special, who's been supportive and just amazing, and a really great person to have around in my life right now. Who I want to be there for them as much as they are for me. Just this whole like great experience. So you know who you are, and thank you very much. Anyway, enough of that. Um, Hang on. Yeah. So just a lot, and yet things have been really looking up right now, and I don't want knock on wood, whatever. I don't know. It's been great, and I just want to get this video out there to let all of you know that I want to thank you, the ones who've been supportive and been there for me, and continue to. It's just been a great overall experience. I will miss a lot of you, because it is sad. Definitely I'll miss you. And it's not that you did anything. I don't want you to think that. It's just I need to get out there on my own and make my own experience and learn things. And this is, I think, the best way, at least in my opinion right now, to do that. But I'm sure obviously I'm going to visit, you can always contact me. For those of you who have my number, those of you who don't, maybe you can message me on Facebook or something, and I'll talk to you, I'll be there. Because I definitely want to stay in contact with those who want to, and to be still supportive that though I'm not physically here, that doesn't mean I can't be there for you. So anyway, I'm going to try wrapping this up now because I've just been ranting on and on. But again, thank you very much, guys. It means everything, and I hope you're doing well. Have a great day, and stay awesome, everyone. Peace. You get that?